Greetings. My name is Shirzad Sharif. I am an Iranian-American drummer. I perform percussion from the Middle East. Music has been always a big part of my family. My uncle, the great maestro, Ustad Sharif, was the legendary Persian tar lute performer. And I also first encountered the tombak and zarb when my grandmother performed that instrument for me at the age of 5. I fell in love with the tombak and zarb. I call it the zarb because that means to strike. When I was 6 years old, I heard all the various sounds that could be produced from that drum and fell in love with that drum. I studied the tombak with the great grandmaster Ustad Bahman Rajabi. He is one of the great tombak players. I'm a classically trained percussionist. I continued my studies with numerous other master musicians, including the lute, and learned that from Ustad Ali Akbar Muradi. I've also studied with Ustad Lutfi, and I've also studied with my teacher of Arabic belly dance music, Neri Allen Donald. I believe I started lessons and learned from her in the early 2000s. I founded numerous ensembles. We performed a range of music ranging from jazz, fusion, world fusion, Persian traditional, classical music, authentic Persian music, Sufi music, and electronic, world electronica, Persian electronica, Middle Eastern electronica, avant-garde music, and the likes. Various projects that I've worked on over the last 30 years. I thought I'd make this video as an introduction to myself, the man behind the art, kind of explain the creative process, what I do, and also how all of this has now come together into a mythical, mystical, fairy tale, sublime school of divine belly dance art, which really brings it all together for me. A lot of times artists who embark on various journeys may find themselves in different situations and different places and different cultures. I myself, being an American Iranian, having lived in both countries and traveled the world, have been exposed to cultures of the world and their beauties for a very long time. My wife is a ballet dancer, and also I love ballet dance music as a whole. And everything I do supports ballet dance. That's an integral part of what I like, which is song and dance. And basically, the way it's all come together is really my life's journey throughout the years. And I have projects ranging from Gothic, Persian Gothica, to world electronica and the likes, which has been my journey through light and darkness. I've contemplated what makes music have a darker, more nocturnal feeling, in the way that would create and generate these emotions like the Moonlight Sonata, for example, and it's more darker feeling, which really ranges from the tones. It's very philosophical if you think about it, because as you come from higher to lower or from lower to higher notes, you'll notice a sense of dis-ease, which creates the darker feeling, and a sense of fear, which is a very important emotion, actually, that humans have, and rarely you can find that in music. The same applies to belly dance music or Persian dance music, and the senses that of sensuality and sexuality that are put forth by the music. You need to understand what creates a sensual mood or a sexual feeling in your music, and this is a very important creative process. Really, it requires a lot of thought. It requires a lot of contemplation. That's something that I do a lot in my art. I, generally speaking, think a lot about what it is I'm going to do. Even though I'm classically trained and can improvise, I tend to like to also, for longer term projects, not so much short term, immediate improvisational pieces, or performances, but more long term, plan and think and contemplate and put together everything that I like to do. And this setup that I have here before me is also part of that journey. There are over 25 drums as part of this new setup that I have. And these were instruments that range from India to Morocco, and the various tones, sounds, and techniques that I can perform on these instruments has allowed me to have a very wide range and dynamic sound that I really am enjoying. This has been over at least 20 years hard work of mine that has come to fruition. I now have most of the Persian instruments. I actually have a setup where there's a Persian nagare, a bongo, a nagara from India, and a Moroccan style nagara as well. And it's almost like a full kit. This is the instruments you're seeing right here. And it has a very wide range. Obviously, the tambourine. I have various sizes in the tambourine. I prefer the big one because I can get all the sounds that I could possibly get out of the tambourine now, which is really nice. It ranges, everything from pops to even fingernail techniques, everything you could possibly imagine that I could get out of the tambourine, I try to do. Same with the zarb and tombak, as well as these other drums. And it's just very uplifting, and it's very satisfying to have finally been able to reach this degree of musicianship where I would have all of these instruments and be able to perform next to any other musician and create all these sounds. Again, this has been something I've been studying, I've been pursuing for a very long time. Tambourine, Middle Eastern percussion, doumbek, damam, nagara, dahol, daf, azeri daire, all these other instruments, the Persian, various styles of performing the tombak. And it's really still a learning process for me. I don't think I'll ever stop learning, and you could always learn something new. I'm now trying all kinds of different techniques that I see from the tambourine from around the world. Everything from like Tanjira style to more samba style, pandeiro, and just anything I could really learn. I always try to learn all these instruments, techniques, sounds, and always looking to expand my knowledge. I've also invented a number of lutes. I've added a fourth string to the tambour instrument. That is a bass string. It allows me to perform a wider tone. I have more low end on that now. I've also added some gimbri strings to the Persian dotar, which has allowed a deeper sound than the oud, more gimbri style, but with Persian motifs and Persian stylings. I can now perform that kind of low end and deep bass sounds that a gimbri sintir would normally provide you. Either way, this has been our journey, and although in various times these various projects of mine have manifested themselves, they've now all come all together under an Imperial School of Music, and that's just kind of going back to my background, having been a member of the Persian royal families and imperial lineage, which is on both Pahlavi and Qajar dynasties, which is kind of how I've grown up in those environments. Either way, I hope you enjoy my music, and I look forward to producing even more. Thank you very much. Have a great day.